Nice. So what I've done outdoors, I've set this up if anyone's wondering. I had to shovel the snow this morning, and Ed's going to show these new guys some just some basic movements on the table. I've given them a little safety talk, basically on the fact that you're supposed to only pull when you're a novice. It doesn't mean you can't do dodgy stuff when you're a pro. But we're going to get see what we'll do. We'll see which direction you go naturally. So we'll see what you might sort of be good at. It doesn't mean it's going to end up being what you're good at. It's like, you know, Oliver's great now, but he hooks, doesn't he? Whereas he always top rolled when he started. And he's actually good at top roll now, but he doesn't like using it. So, okay, one of you. And yeah. Right, so now what he's going to do, he's going to warm up wrist first, then he's going to warm up your elbow, and then you're going to warm up the deltoid. A very common injury is deltoid and rotator cuff, because you kind of pulling out here, and they take ages to heal, you know. So you know, often injuries aren't big spectacular breaks. Yeah, they take months, you know. Especially if you get the ligament or the tendon, 3-4 months guaranteed. Yeah.
Just couldn't hold my left arm up.
Yeah. Unsurprisingly, it's the same sort of problem in arm wrestling. I mean, it's the same thing mechanically, you know, in a way. It's not going to be the best filming here because I've got so much stuff on my patio.
I also like to do slow lat drags. Okay. Yep. So we just drag back and forth. Yep.
That's great stuff.
You just instantly know when you grip up with someone that they're
Yeah. Well, you say that. I mean, when I initially started training Ed, he didn't know how to. He didn't feel strong, even though he was. So it's like you kind of know. Oh, I can see that he's making some presumptions, you know, whereas actually it doesn't take long for you to think, oh, actually I can connect there. Oh, you know, if I get him there, I know how to pull a lot of weight through that shape. Number one...
Once you get the technique, you start learning like what you need to build on. Fine.
Number one rule today, please. You're not going to run away from your arm, okay? You're never going to leave the table. You're going to try and keep contact with the table with your body. If you can keep that rule and try and always face away from you try and keep your eyes towards your hand and your opponent, wherever you go on the table. So even if you're falling off the table, you try and stay aiming. You don't want your left, for instance, in this place, exactly, and you don't want your left shoulder to run away behind you because you're going to open up your chest. And if you open up your chest, shoulder injuries, other problems.
So here's just close to the table.
covering my knuckle, Beth.
This guy's watched a lot of videos, hasn't he? Nice. So look at your fingertips. So you're opening up your own hand, aren't you?
I am.
Yeah. So what you want to do, don't move over as much. You try and put the pressure through the fingertips and bring his hand with you, and that way you won't open up right at the start.
Okay. Like that.
Yeah. Try and push down through the little fingers and pull up through that wrist.
Down.
Yeah, physically push forwards down into his wrist, and then
So once you get the height, you want to attack the lower fingers as well.
Right. Okay.
What most pickers will do, they'll try to stop you.
Yeah. Okay.
Cut you into the lower finger control.
Okay. So that.
So you're dumping your wrist. You want a high hand. So you have to do it high hand.
Yep.
If you dump your wrist at the start, you've got nowhere to go.
No. Okay.
So you want to. If you're going to dump your wrist, you do it after the go, because you're moving through his hand and wrist.
Yes.
So you want to move through his fingers so he's opened up.
Okay.
Yeah. Nice. It's looking good. Try and keep your hip up into the table. It gives you height.
Yep.
Yep. And try not to. I would say is try and be on the middle of the table.
Okay.
Yeah. Because if the more your bum's over this end, you're gonna run out of space.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Think of that boxing shape. That's what I was talking about, dumping up. So basically on Ed's long wrist, he just pulls his wrist vertically. Yeah.
Now I've got the height. I have hand control. Start bringing my body into it. So they drain you.
Nice. So what you can do, one thing you can do.
I'm stuck now.
But on your fingertips, you know the one thing you're not supposed to on grip, as I mentioned, that's actually really good in arm wrestling. So if you were to use that crimp, like your rock climbing, you can fall away slightly behind you, and actually you can pull that through his hand, through the top of his hand.
Yeah.
I'm actually not strong enough to just contain you.
No.
I can't just play even hold you. Okay. I actually do have to go outside.
Yeah. Okay.
Nice. So rather than climbing all the way like that, if you were to then go over, you'd go over his wrist, which means you wouldn't be able to get him to the pad. Okay. So you want to take some of that hand with you. Right, so don't.
So what do I do in this position?
So don't climb all the way at the start.
Right,
you climb when you've made. Yeah, you need to make some ground before you climb. Okay. Yeah. It's not so much if you've got like a decent length lever, you can climb and take more with you. If you watch Devon Larratt, when he climbs, he takes something with him. Whereas if you're short, it's far harder because you're climbing into his hand. What will happen is potentially he can then just dump your hand over. You know, so it's sort of you got a fine line. You know, arm wrestling is not. There's a tight middle table part to arm wrestling, and then there's the outside-inside game. Okay. So you can go all the way outside, like an American. The Americans like. In America, they tend to go all the way out or all the way in. Yeah. They love doing that. So they tend to they'll isolate the bicep. Not always, but Americans love doing that, you know.
I still pull away from the table.
Yeah. Use your feet.
No. Okay.
Start pulling.
Yeah, cool.
In Russia, they specialise in hand control. In Eastern Europe, they'll the middle of the table. You know, so they don't go as far out and as far in. They'll do high shapes.
Yeah.
And it's partly a cultural thing. In Russia, they pride themselves on power. You know, in America, they'll say "gur," but the fact is that broad outside and inside shapes are actually to avoid having to use power. You're using your lats and your body instead of your hand. So it's a different sort of culture. Americans love the strap.
What's the strap for?
So if you lose your grip, if you slip, it binds you up. I hate the strap because
in a match, our hands would fall apart. Because we're both going outside. I'm not trying to hold him. He's not trying to hold me.
Yeah. In the game.
What happens if your hands fall apart before anyone's got to.
Then we go to the strap.
Yeah.
So no one wins the round.
Unless it's a deliberate, unless they're in the losing position, isn't it?
No. In European rules, if you're doing a European rules competition, then if you slip in the losing position, it's a loss. Yeah. But in WAF rules, in a lot of other, I think it's WAF rules. If you're in a, is it WAF? No, I think it's WAL and other things like that. You can be in a losing position, but they want you to keep playing. A lot looser.
Yeah.
I can put this over if you want. I don't know if it's a bit drippy at the moment. Yeah, he's opened it up there. Think about bringing that left shoulder forwards and then falling away through his hand, through your fingertips. Yeah. You see what I mean? Yeah. Don't bounce. Bouncing, you'll open yourself up. Nice. Just follow him to the pad. No, shall I have a grip up?
It's literally just a few %.
So I'll just have a little grip. So I'll just so Ed's great because he'll show you about wrist control.
Really good, yeah.
I'll show you about hand control.
Okay.
It's slightly different.
Yeah. I mean, I was not dominating your hand. It was just kind of standstill. Okay. I had to use my body and my lats to drag you, open you up.
Yeah. Okay.
So my strength isn't here. I'm not like an American.
No.
I don't live around the pad. I'm not like Tom Holland. So Tom Holland can live all day.
He's all over the place. Yeah.
The reason is he's got a long lever. He can actually sit and still contain his bicep in a forward position. and he can even lock in. I can't do that because if I sit forwards, it's opening me up.
Yeah.
Especially, you know, if the other opponent's leaves, he'll just pull my wrist.
Right. Okay.
So what I do is middle the table.
Yeah.
And you'll probably feel it when I grip up, even though I've got no power though.
He
So
says.
try and do something.
Something.
Yeah, and I'm just going to use my hand.
Oh.
I'm not using anything else. Hand only.
That's insane, isn't it?
Yeah, so you imagine if I was to then use my arm.
Yeah.
It doesn't take much. But that only depends on me keeping this bit of the table. It's great in a super match, but in a competition, I'll lose that very quickly.
Okay.
So, and I'll get pumped up, you know. And the other guy might be faffing around. He might pump up my forearm. Because I'm a lifter, not an arm wrestler.
Yeah.
I get terrible lactic, you know.
Right,
so the opponent knows that, so he can just get me pumped. So you want to get, you know, if you want to be a great arm wrestler, you've got to have aerobic arms. You go. Look, it sounds daft. Literally find an excuse to screw things into the wall. Yeah. You know, get a board, box of screws all day. You're going to be great on the arm wrestling table. So.
In order to get out of that, your pronation needs to be close to his cupping strength.
Yeah, this is.
Or you use speed to get before he gets the cup in. But
it's
a lot harder to do it when you're top roll, when you're
I mean, if you were to try and hook on me, you can feel me pronating on you.
That's careful, not to press. Yeah.
You feel the transfer, and then I'm over there.
Right.
So you want to basically take me over.
Yeah.
Take me from the bottom of the. What I mean is, you want to top roll me, but take me in a almost use your body and sweep over so that you open me up to that angle. Exactly. You want to put a bit like parking. You want to put my hand there.
Yeah.
So
and then fall back.
And then you fall back. Okay. Because if you go straight over, it's like this. It gets ugly. Yeah. And if I'm really hell bent on staying there, I'll just try and hold off. So you want to. I call it climbing up the cliff and then jumping off of it. You know, you need to climb the cliff, but you want to take.
So is that just like cupping first?
Get your height, but you want to produce some side pressure on my arm without using side pressure yourself. Yeah. Okay. So in other words, if you were to pull, come around, you want to be ending up. Start a good analogy. You start here. Yep. You end up facing there. Yeah. Okay. Start there, end up there, and the movement on your body is a little bit of sideways movement. A little bit. You move it from the middle pad to there. Always start on the middle of the pad if you can. If you're a novice, that's a great place to start. Tight up.
If you're because we're shorter, do we start further over or?
Tall people in the middle as well. It's just a good rule. But then you can make something of it, and then get that hip up into the table to get your height. Okay. And then what it does is basically you're not losing your arm up there. You know, if your hip drops, you see a lot of people losing out.
King's move.
Well, that's fine. I'll show you a King's move. Generally I wouldn't do that's one type of King's move where your shoulder is going below your elbow. Very illegal, really dangerous if you've got a long arm. Please never do it. But you can do a safe King's move, funny enough. And you can actually get your tricep to touch the pad. Right, okay. With your shoulder staying up and all in the finger control and your cupping power. That's your cupping power. Imagine you're trying to create like a sickle shape in your hand. If you can keep your slight pronation and cupping power like Michael Todd, then the other guy won't be able to move you. The only trouble is that then it's not a pinning position, so you then have to knacker the other guy and then pin from there. So if I go into, I'll just hold up into a King's move. So go, just do anything with me. Anything at all. And I'm not going to use any power. I'm just going to, no power.
He's getting all the height. He's winning all the height. So with a King's move, because he's on his tricep, he's trying to get his forearm really high.
Yeah, it's great for me because in that position I'm not using any muscle. It's all on the tendons. So it's just like sitting on if you were to go bouldering, you're just hanging on your crimp, and you imagine. So that's not using all this. No. So it's great if you want to save some power. Yeah. But if I want to then pin you, I've got to somehow go up here, and as soon as I get out of the King's move, I'm vulnerable. Yeah. You know, so you kind of time it. When do I come up?
Speed, yeah.
When do I come up? It's never. You know, you see guys like Todd and Larrett over the years winning from the King's move, but they're thinking, shit, when do I come up?
Yeah.
You know, when can I pin him? And sometimes they get it wrong, as you see, you know, because they time it wrong.
Yeah.
Great. So again, I've got a short lever. I don't think I'm the best person to start on this. So now this is an interesting one because we've got a longer lever. I'd argue one of the longest levers.
Yeah, I wouldn't normally, if I saw it in a match, I would not top roll.
Yeah, well, we'll find out, won't we?
What do I do with my feet? 'Cause you like all.
Good question. Yeah.
So I like to go to the side, so I usually put one foot in front of me, my right foot, and I kind of do it this way, and one foot slightly back. It depends what you're doing, because if you're doing more side pressure, usually people go really on the side, and they try and put more side pressure, more arm power. If you're going back pressure, which is more outside pull-in, so some people usually put 2 feet underneath, so falling backwards. Yeah, and that's pure just back. They're not. They're trying to win the hand before they position themselves back. Onto the side.
That reminds me, I'm gonna come up with something to screw the table down.
Say, put one foot.
Just inside.
Yeah, and then just one side, just pulling up. You can see.
So where's
I'm just looking like this.
yeah, like that,
Hope if I wasn't literally in a tree.
That's a very big hand as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'll show you a little later what you can do to conserve your energy. You know, I was doing
What's that like?
That's literally because you're here. You just
straight down.
You want to go straight to the side.
Yeah. Is that good or bad?
Yeah, well, it's great because
Right.
It might be an option.
it puts a lot. You can damage your own arm pressing.
Strong enough, they'll just pull you out and you'll be pulling in a awkward position.
Right, okay.
So the good thing about being tall, you know, you saw me doing a King's move, right?
Yeah.
That's the opposite to what your advantages would be. You could do a King's move, but your advantage is to be high on the other guy. So you would keep your shoulders up, yeah? So any advantage you would have is to get that wrist above your opponent's wrist, or you could even hook into the other guy, and if you keep your hand up, you can then press. You can get over your own hand and press down. Follow your arm, and I want to see your whole body pivoting on that table. So use your, what I would say, yeah, if you could, right, so what I would say is to make that easier, you're going to bend your left knee as you come round. Yeah, it's going to collapse and you're going to keep a very straight, like a javelin thrower, you're going to keep your right leg posted and straight. And you want to end up, rather than facing me, you want to end up facing closer to Edmar. Better, yes. Get those hips up into the table. I would say, because you've got a long leg, you want to really be pretty much touching the front of the table, almost on Edmar's side. So if you were to move your right foot forwards, yep. And can you put your foot on the bar at the end, on the other side? No, I mean literally. Can you do that?
Literally falling backwards, and the only thing holding you up is our ankle point out of hands.
Yeah, I would say, is that possible? Can you do that? Because if you keep getting to the habit of putting your foot there, it shouldn't get in the way of your opponent because he's on this side anyway. So I would say, from a safety point of view, get in the habit of burying your foot in there because you've got your long leg. So great thing to use. Get that knee.
Falling back, I'm leaning my whole body weight on that arm. So that's the only thing holding me up.
Yeah.
So that's why you see the tables move about so much. It's because the whole body weight's on that table.
Oh yeah. Another thing, you're going to want to start in the middle of the table. I've literally got a bullseye. I'm going to be sticking on the middle of the table. It's going to look great. Oh, I've got to stop the video briefly. I've got to call my wife.
You have that lever, so you get really high in the hand. In fact, can win the whole hand control.
So get my hand up like that.
And in order to do that, you want to really, win the hand, yeah.
And you know your fingertips there. it's great that you're not separating your fingers. You've got a really good platform to push through into his wrist, so that he can't pronate against you. So if,
squeeze his hand.
You could literally squeeze his hand, or push, or just simply push down into your fingers. Yeah. As your hand comes up, you're pushing down through those fingertips.
His wrist is already too strong for me.
Yeah. Well, I'm not surprised. He's got the best lever.
His hand is very big as well. Because tall people usually have longer fingers, and they just cut the whole back. You know, honestly, you want very long fingers and a thick thumb. Thick thumb, so I can't cut around your hand. Long fingers, so you can contain my hand. So if I'm trying to go here, it's very hard because your hand is just engulfing my whole hand.
I've got a little dirty trick on my thumb. I've not got a thick thumb, but what I literally what's the word? I'll oppose my thumb, so I'm creating the effect of a big thumb. But they think I've got a big thumb. I'm not, but I'm just pushing into their hand with my thumb. That's what John Bazink does.
Yeah,
he pushes down into the other guy's hand. Yeah, it works.
In that situation, what would I end up doing then?
In that situation, if someone's trying to go in, you'd have to try and pull them out.
Yeah.
Get that hand control. It's all about hand control.
Yeah, if they come in, you dump up. Dump that wrist up, aim for the sky, you know.
If you were trying to hook me, I'd try to go here. Take your lower finger so you can't cut him.
Yeah, you need to do the same thing. So if he hooks you, so if you hook him, you hook in, you dump that wrist straight up into the air. Yeah, and then you just sit on him, and wait for him to gas out, and then you've got an easy one. Yeah.
I'm on the defense, so I wasn't quick enough. So because I'm on defense, I still have hand control here because I have a cut.
Yeah.
But if you used to let up with it, so if I was to be quicker, you might be the one on the defense, and that's not, you don't want that.
No.
That's okay, and obviously taking the whole hand is better.
Yeah.
Just a little word of caution. You're in a position where you might want to push your arm down to the pad, push him to the pad. I want you, if you're going to push him to the pad, you want to transition your body round so you can pull him to the pad. Does that make sense? Yeah, exactly. Because then at least, if he then fights back, worst that happens, you just open your arm. Yeah. If you're pushing down, you could literally injure your own elbow.
So what I think I was saying is basically, if I'm here, worst that could happen is I'm on my bicep. You don't want to be here and someone just yanks you that way.
Yeah.
That's a lot of side pressure on your arm. That's what causes injury. It's that torsion.
And you might want to...
That's what you're kind of positioned as. That's why I'm telling you not to press. Because if you come against someone that doesn't know you're a beginner, they'll plow through, and you're in this awkward position where your arm is in this bad position. Also, because you've got a long arm, you can exert accidental side pressure on your own arm, which will twist your bone. So, in other words, you might be tempted to physically push him with your arm only, without using your body, and that means you're twisting your own bone. You could break your own arm. It wouldn't be him who breaks your arm potentially. So, just try and read your own body. Does that make sense? So we just practice back pressure.
Nice. That's good. Keep closer to the table with your hip. Yeah, and then you're going to bring that right leg forwards, and you're going to collapse. You're going to collapse your left leg so you can bring that hip round. Yeah. That's going to pull a lot more weight.
You don't want to go sideways, you want to drag backwards.
Not just straight back like that.
So
yeah.
Drag backwards, I mean back and a bit of side, but dragging this way is better than pushing this way.
So I want my elbow to end up.
So a normal leap for me would be here.
Oh, yeah.
That's my movement. So I'm here.
Beautiful. And you can see, can you see his high hip? Yeah. He's keeping that, can you see the space closes between his elbow and his hip? You're opening up between your elbow and your hip, yeah. So you want to...
Your path because you have long levers. Yours would probably be somewhere...
yeah.
You have a small back pressure and then there. Because start and centre, you're going to be forced to start back. Yeah. That's what Devin Lau always argues. He's like, elbow kick, because his elbow's all at front and he's high. Yeah. He's meant to come back. Yeah. To lower his hand, his arm's too long. Yeah. So usually long levers, they have great top rollers, but their only disadvantage, they have to start a lot further back. So because you're split off that, your arm's open, so that you're prone to something that goes inwards.
Yeah. But you're gonna, to get a legal start in a match against someone like me with a little arm, you're gonna have to bring your elbow all the way back to the back of your pad.
You'll be essentially starting like here.
So but want to pull you forward and then
Yeah,
move
so so it's back pressure. The back pressure, having back pressure is that bicep driven back pressure.
Yeah, a back pressure, when they call it, it's not a lat drag. A back pressure is moving your hand up and backwards and your lat at the same time. So the whole unit.
Yeah.
Whole unit. So as the reason, what I mean by the lat as well, is your legs go under the table as you lean back. Yeah, that's better. Legs come forwards under the table. Imagine you want to almost deliberately fall backwards. So yeah, leg is way too far back. You see your right leg. Oh yeah. If it feels uncomfortable, it's not a bad thing, because any feeling that you're going to fall over, that is going to transfer into the other guy's arm. So any backward, hanging, so to speak.
Hold it for much longer.
Shall I have a?
My bite is all
Someone.
He'll be able to show your weaknesses because he's an inside pillar.
I don't know. You might want to go
that way.
The garden. It's funny. Usually, I'm a problem with filming because everyone else is taller than me. So it's like trying to get me in the shot. Yeah. So can you see I'm nice and square on? So you want to start nice and square on. Bring your hip. That's better. And you want to be turning in this way. Yeah. Legs come forwards, and it doesn't matter what your height is. I'm always trying to get up and under the table. So see if you can just use that nice wrist. Oh yeah, yeah. So beautiful. So you're gonna take that, push down through there. You're gonna come up there. You need your body to do it. So the wrist moves a little, the body does it. Good. You see, I'm falling away and aiming to your pad.
Yep.
So you want to end up looking that way.
Yeah, so moving the body on that.
That's right, so give yourself room, you're just going to bend this elbow out here. Yeah. In fact, if you start with it way out, guarantee your position. Yeah. You see some guys, tall guys, typically, their elbow's way out here to start. But you can guarantee it gives them somewhere to go. If it's down there, it's like, where do I go?
Start.
Elbow up, out of the way. Body up. Yeah. It doesn't matter if you're 7 foot. If you can get your arms under the table, you can still keep contact and still get the other guy down. You look at the tall guys in pose. They're not miles away from the table, and yet they're really tall. So it's like, there's guys, believe it or not, they're not 7 foot, but there's some guys with longer arms than you who are like, they're still really tall, but they've got freakishly long arms, like some deadlifters. That's amazing, but they've got an issue of their own, but they still manage to stay on the table. So I don't want to see you facing that way. I want to see that hip coming round. In fact, from the start you rotate round, and that means you can pull heavier and heavier weight through the other guy's arm. And it's your body that's going to move that shape. So that strong wrist is going to ruin my shape, and then everything else you use your body to fall away. So yeah, and then just fall down towards the ground. No, don't push. You're going to fall down, body down, collapse below. Yeah, better. But again, you wanna end up falling under the table. Yeah. So if you can end up falling under the table, watch my right foot straight out. Doesn't matter how long or short my leg is. It's out there, and the hips coming up towards the table, and I end up facing the opponent's pad. And it's usually when you get a win, you're smiling at your opponent, like, I'm facing that way. I'm not over here. I'm over here. It's not comfortable for anyone. If you're going to do a top roll, you have to get very used to keeping your boxing shape. It's a little bit freer if you're a hook, guys, because you can open this up. But generally, as top roll, you want to keep a nice shape. Keep that elbow out of the way, like this. You're going to come out, and that leg's going to fire forwards. So the right leg's, the right leg's going to basically, absolutely nail it into this. Yeah, perfect. And you're going to bend that knee, bring your leg forwards, and further forwards, right under the table.
Under the table.
Under the table. So
you might want to hold on his hand so he has an anchor point, because he's going to just fall. But essentially, you have your whole body weight underneath the table.
Hang off my arm.
Yeah, and you're just falling backwards.
Let's do that. Just hang off my arm. Yeah, and come round and hang off my arm. Just practice hanging off my arm. Nice. Bring that hip up. Bring that right under the table as far, almost till you're almost kicking me because you need to. Yeah, that's a good shape. Get up, hip up, hip up.
Yeah.
Almost. It's hard, but once you get used to it, it's going to be really effective. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's much better shape.
Yeah. So you're going to fall away. Yeah.
Yeah,
nice.
that's much
That
better.
feels horrible.
Wow.
Yeah. And now when you use that wrist, you're going to, same with your body, yeah. Keep that shape and use your body to pull away.
Yeah.
Right, down. Pull, pull, pull. Don't push, just pull. Watch me, so square up. I'm just top ball, you, I'm rubbish as well. Oh, I'll tell you what, I can just, I'll just cheat on my elbow. Right. So,
Yeah.
if I had a longer leg, it would be even better because I could keep my hip up into the table. In fact, you only need one leg on the ground legally. I could literally put my leg up there
Yeah.
just to guarantee I'm coming out over you. And do you see me running away here? No. But you see me trying to get, I'm trying to get around here so that I can connect to my muscles. If I get stuck out here, oh shit, the other guy might have deliberately opened me up. I can't pull a lot of weight. But if I can get here, I can pull. Imagine you're pulling a lot of weight through here.
Yeah.
Imagine there's this imaginary connection across your chest. You can literally watch Michael Todd, he'll practice just on a rope.
Yeah, I've seen that, yeah.
But he won't change that position anymore on the table until he's in his stupid King's move. But you want to be in this shape everywhere. Think about it really loosely, don't worry about complicated shapes. Just think about your body only getting into that shape. Whatever it takes to get into that shape, because then you can beat the other guy, you know. So think about your body only, and then the table is secondary. That's looking good. And you want to be, off the start, you're going to be twisting your shoulders round in this direction. Yes. That's why your elbow's up there, to give yourself room to bring your shoulder forward. Yeah. And you're going to literally fade under the table. So fall up, hips up, and you're going to fall back through the table. Nice. Yeah. Elbow out of the way.
Keep falling,
Body.
keep falling.
Fall away.
People
But
end
yeah,
up sitting down, yeah.
You want to imagine that you're deliberately trying to fall on the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah. With your arse in the air, arse up in this direction, shoulders back there, and your shoulders come round. Yep. Shall we do a little bit of left?
Yeah?
I'm rubbish on left, so if you want to.
I mean, I pulled a Raj on Tuesday as well.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Actually, it's funny. I think we're both still a bit torn up from our last training session. Last Saturday, I'm still pretty much sore from. Very good.
What, 10 minutes or so?
Oh, right, well, I hope it's been fun. I mean,
No,
I know
yeah.
I know it's only a little introduction.
Yeah. But essentially, like I said, this will be your anchor point, and I'll literally, if I can, I'm strong, my biceps strong enough, I'll just hang on to my arm, my legs in the air.
Yeah. How long have I got with you?
Yeah, more for another 40 minutes.
Oh, great stuff. So what we'll do is we'll give you a bit of time as on
Yeah,
the
it's
left.
fine, yeah, it's fine.
To be quite honest, if it's the weekend, we'll have more than one table.
Yeah.
So usually this table doesn't come out. Often it's in there.
Yeah.
And we'll have two tables out. Sometimes we've got 4 tables out. So it's
And I'm working.
the trouble is it's like
Sunday, isn't it?
you got guys who are thinking, well, I've got a tournament coming up. I've not got anything.
Yeah.
They might do something at theirs. So we've got Oliver's in Enfield.
Yeah, okay.
And he can train in his own house, and
Okay.
his parents even let him do it in their dining room. Yeah, it's great. Yeah, but they can fit quite a few tables there, so they'll just get a few people over. I went there last week. When was it? Saturday? Something like that. Yeah, Saturday. But that was hard work, you know, because I was already sore from the walnut lifts, so I didn't have my thumb to use. So. It's not set in stone if we do Sundays or Saturdays. It's whatever suits people.
Most people, yeah.
Yeah. So think about that right hip of yours fading under the table, the knee, yeah, and straighten that left leg, really push into that corner, and you're going to use that to come away on his hand. Get that hip up into the table. Yeah, up into the table and fall backwards with your, basically you want to push your arse up into towards the table. Just to close up your triangles. It's got such a good wrist.
That's insane.
I love the fact that. Ooh, I love the fact that you already started off really well. He's already started. He's in some ugly shapes, so he's got some promise, isn't he?
Mad. Amazing.
Pertain to technique, you know. And I always want you guys to look good, but it's like equally, if it's anything, yeah, if it's a good little hint about getting your leg up or just getting your angles, I'll post those on the club thing, just so you can remind yourself. If anyone's, well, actually, I'll say on the video that table is going to be adorned with a lot of stickers and colours and things soon. Your right shoulder's going way out. I want it to come forwards. Yeah. Get the elbow up. Yeah, that's better.
Yeah, I'm always
you're leaving the table.
Yeah.
Can you see your hips are coming away from the table? You want to be tight up into the table.
You always want to be square. Usually, if I'm not square this way, I'm square this way.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm keeping my arm, my hand, inside my shoulder. I don't like that setup. There we go. I can't get on. I don't have anything to grip onto.
Well, you say that, but if you were to push through those fingertips, you wouldn't need to.
Right, let's go in then.
I keep trying to get these guys to do grip, but obviously they love their arm wrestling. But actually, if they were to do some grip exercises with me, they'll be able to control the middle of the table. It would be really useful.
Knee strap. Yeah, it is a knee strap.
It's a bit difficult to convince guys to do something else that they hadn't expected. Yeah.
Yeah.
So with the strap, upper side gets the strap first. You do it low, high. Generally, people go low. More back pressure. Your best go there.
Sorry that I wasted so much time actually fixing the table. Before you turned up, Ed, I was actually cutting the holes in the table. So. I think that it's a good amount of time in this weather. Any longer and my feet would freeze. I think.
There's obviously tricks to the buckle as well.
Yeah, the sides that you have the buckle, whether it's on your hand or the other guy's hand, some people prefer it one side rather than the other. And if you have the buckle, if you're literally holding the buckle, a lot of people hate that. But I would argue it's not necessarily a bad thing, because if you want to move your hand around the buckle, it actually gives you a kind of a convenient point to pivot around. You imagine if you're trying to use your thumb through that strap, you can't do it, can you? You can't push your thumb down. That's why I don't like the strap. Get that shoulder up tight. You want to come in towards, come in towards Edmar. Get those hips up into the table, and you're going to pronate against him. That's nice. He's got a good wrist. It's not as mobile, but it's actually very strong. Yeah. That's great. Nice.
Oh, amazing. Well done.
Nice.
No cut there. See if I could that wrist it back on.
You'll find it funny if you try left on me, because you'll easily beat my hand. But I can only pronate. I can't hook on my left. Literally, that far as I can move my hand up.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, and that's it.
That's why I can beat his left.
So I can hook if I put my hand sideways. So the trouble is, if I put my hand sideways, I'm over there.
And then you're, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
what am I going to do?
Do you want to go with his left if you've got a shoot?
the world's shortest left arm. Yeah. Thank you both of you. It's been really nice to give you an intro. Hopefully next time if you can spare any time on weekends, then there's more guys. Yeah. Because there's more people, it's just you get to share in knowledge. So yeah.
Have I got my legs the wrong way around it?
Well,
Yes, you do.
Yeah. If I want to,
Arm, leg first.
I can deliberately put my legs in the wrong position. I can go into a right leg position on the left arm to be entirely defensive on the bicep. Because if I was to come around here, I'm isolating my own bicep. So it means the other guy can't get around. He can't his pronation has been miles over there. Over here, his pronation's quite close, but actually over there, he's got a problem.
Interesting.
Yeah, but it's not easy for me to part it.
So that's more defensive.
What I should do is really that direction.
Yeah.
You really want that direction. Yeah. I have to be defensive because I can't do much in that style. Yeah, so I'm all defence. Yeah. The wrist comes up. Oh.
Nice.
Oh, that feels horrible. Yeah.
No.
Don't push. That last little bit. Actually, do it, and I'll show you what I'll do. So do that again. Yeah. Yeah. So then you push at the end. Yeah, push at the end like. Yeah. You just gave me an opening.
So yeah.
So that little thing.
So if I was in that position then, so
you want to pull your body all the way through. This pulls through, and actually I always do this to people. I hate doing this, but it's literally physically need to do pull back.
Yeah. You just the same movement, just keep going under the table.
I mean, I know what shape your body needs to do. I'm finding it easier to look at another person and see what the shape is. I go into reasonable shapes when I'm arm wrestling, but I can't coach myself as well as I can coach someone else. I get into ugly habits, everyone does, but it's very easy to watch another person and say, oh, his body's completely in the wrong position. Yeah. Watch the videos, it might be interesting. Think about how can you use that power in the gym. How can you lift a heavy weight? Pull a heavy weight through my arm. So literally, how do you pull a heavy weight through my arm? Nice, and all your body needs to come over. Dump your wrist up. Yep, and now over. Fall off the cliff.
Nice.
Yeah.
Better. But you're losing it.
yeah.
So you're gonna get there. Yeah.
If you think about it, if you're pronating and you're leaning this way, your pronation can only go far. But if you lean this way, your pronation is naturally gonna, you know.
You've got so much further to move. If you were to get the body position, you're.
Do I want to go around there or?
I'll tell you what, you can either.
Well, you want the body, your top part does, but your bottom part wants to stay this way.
Imagine.
So your legs will be this way.
Yeah, I mean, I can't put my arm further than that. But imagine you literally want to touch them to the table. So the pad just happens to be in the way. But you want your body to move so far over that literally the table is the place of is your target.
I don't know. Would it be better if you can see what I'm doing to him when I'm in a top row position? So maybe you can. Yeah, and you can replicate it.
Oh yeah.
Like against you.
Oh. Him, yeah.
I mean, I suppose you, but he wants to see it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So it's a good point. So, so if you watch his body, literally.
So if I just, I can actually show you again. So if I was here, I'd literally keep going.
And can you see his spine? Imagine you're drawing a line through his head to his bum, right? Yeah. That is the angle you need to be following.
So if it's here, I mean, if I was going a bit more side pressure, I'd be here.
Can you see him coming over, and then he's facing the other way?
At the moment, what you're doing is you're getting to this point here, because you're facing here. You're getting here. You're like, okay, I can't.
You're pushing through.
So you go. Whereas you just want to keep going, But then obviously you keep going and you end up, you know, pivoting.
Yeah, you want to keep. You don't want to lose that shoulder. The later you can lose that shoulder, the better. You know, because you're. Imagine a good analogy, right? So I'm in the gym. I want to lift a load of weight off the ground. You know, I'm not going to do it with my shoulder way out. I've got to do. Imagine you're doing a bent row. Yeah.
Yeah.
So do a bent row on that person on the table. You know, and how are you going to move that across the table? Yeah. Anyway, shall we call it?
Yeah,
That's right. Thanks a lot. Anyway. Oh, so actually, I could do a bit of left on. I didn't do. Did I do a bit? Yeah, okay. So, even though I've got such a stupid little left arm, it's just you know. You know, they put a really good arm wrestling against me. You feel I've got no hand strength. Oh, horrible. Start up here. Okay, and I'll do something. Let's go for it. Oh,
that's insane still.
Yeah, but I can't get into the pad because I've not got the. You know, I've got my arc. It doesn't even make it as far as the pad. So me trying to. I've run out of space, don't I?
That's quite.
Yeah.
Wow.
And what I'll do, I'm going to loosen up, get you used to your nice art. I want to see some nice shapes. Yeah. And you want your target through the pad. Yeah. Boxing all the way.
Let's see those knuckles.
Yeah. All the way over, nice.
You have good movement.
Slower.
Yeah.
Slower.
Because the quicker you go, the more likely you are to injure yourself. Yeah. Okay. Slow. Look at John Bazink.
Sure.
And you're losing a shoulder.
Okay.
That's it. That's a bit better.
So what am I doing wrong?
So, most people will end up, you saw with Edmar, he'll end up square.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
But the ultimate position, if you didn't have the table in the way, would be near your opponent and literally facing that way.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
wow.
It's only the table that should stop you from getting all the way around. So you want your back to end up there.
Like that.
Yeah.
It's just maximised pronation.
Yeah. Okay.
You probably might not ever get there, but you're aiming for that.
That's what you're aiming for.
That's exactly right. So it's a target. It's not necessarily. You look at Ed. He doesn't go all the way around. No. But it's a target.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah.
Right.
You don't want to move around so far. You're opening your own arm up.
Yeah.
But it's somewhere you're aiming for. Again, even you've got not the shortest of arms. Oh, nice.
Like that.
And
so I'm facing.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Keep carry on through the fingers. Nice. Nice. It's gonna get good.
Yeah.
Oh, that was nice.
Already has good movement on the
that's
table.
Good. Yeah. So if I was to pull up, try not to drop your shoulders as low as quickly.
Okay.
So keep it. Yep. Go. Yep. So I'm just pushing through the thumb.
And that's a bad position.
That's horrible.
So all I'm doing, I'm doing a John Bazink and pushing through the thumb.
Yeah.
You can do whatever you want. You can try it on me. So what you're gonna do? It's funny. I know how to do it. How do I tell something? So if you good one.
Yeah.
So what I'm doing is I'm pushing your thumb.
Okay.
I'm opening your thumb up, literally. And it
yes.
gives me,
Yes.
And
Okay.
I'm giving myself a cup. So you could have me. You could almost have me opened up.
But
I lost my cup. But if I push through your hand, I'm regaining my cup. Connecting. Feeling.
So it's
push through the thumb, bringing your cup up. So you're going to regain. I've got you open. So you're going to push down through there to open me up.
okay.
So you're aiming.
Okay. So it's
Imagine your thumb comes down and your cup comes up.
yeah.
Bring your fingers together.
So like this.
Strong shapes.
Yeah.
And you're going to be. It's basically. It's kind of getting yourself into a strong position where you were not in one previously. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I can feel it now.
Oh, you got my wrist there. Yeah, go through my fingers. Peel me open like a can.
Can opener.
Can opener.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, the only thing that you're doing wrong is you're dropping your shoulder. Sorry, your arm is opening up. Yeah, you're dropping down so much you're opening up your shoulder.
Okay.
So drop less quickly.
Yeah.
Make
and
more
bring
gains there. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
As you fall down here,
Yeah.
suddenly you've got no arc.
Yeah.
If you're up here, you've got an arc.
Okay, so I'm dropping too quick.
Yeah. That's
Your
exactly
your
right,
shoulders dropping before your arms
Yeah,
is
okay.
catching up. So you want that tight, your
Yeah.
hand inside your shoulders.
Okay.
That's exactly right. It's called
And
the
that's
bone
muscle
line.
memory. That's gonna.
That takes
cover
time.
it,
Yeah, it took me a while.
You can literally. I used to. This is so funny. It's sad. I used to have a garage. So I would come into the garage before I even turned the lights on, and just imagine my shape. Imagine I'm in a competition. You know, and then you turn the lights off.
Yeah. Okay.
It's funny, a lot of guys complain that I'm squeezing their thumb. I don't really squeeze, I push.
Push down.
Yeah. Yep, so push down to, there. And
Right,
then,
okay.
Yeah. So use it, yes, that's
Okay.
better. Now you got room.
Yeah.
Yeah. Suddenly it's like eureka. Oh. Oh.
Okay.
Nice.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Ah.
Hey! In your research. You can tell that Ed's passionate about the sport, because when you put him in a like a deadlock like that, he goes away and he wants to come back and find a way around it. The index finger is your main Ed's main weakness there is his index finger. I can see it, it's crumpling. He needs to pull his index finger in towards him.
Nice, you got me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a bit of cup in there.
Do you feel that? Yeah.
I was stand still, and I was trying to get an advantage. I didn't have the arm power to go through that hand.
Okay.
So I slowly tried to get that little cup in. Once I had that cup in, I felt I could go to the pad.
Yeah.
It was getting that cup in. Pronation was stand still.
Yeah.
We were both fighting for it. We were still holding on, so I had to slowly get a bit of a flex.
Nice. So
Yeah, you can go from looking like